Photographs are something we see all around us. It pops up in our everyday life, sometimes without us even knowing it. Magazines, billboards, posters, etc. We as a nation spend hours on end snapping away to capture memories, show people what we look like, or even just show the rest of the world how much fun we're having. But the big question is, how important are these photographs? People dedicate their entire lives to producing photographs professionally, and some even get paid up to £65,000 a year. However, as technology is increasing, computers and smartphones are developing, the need for photo-framed image is slowly dying out. So my mission is to find out why photographers think this industry is so important to keep print photography around.
I think the physical item in which, like if you was to print your photograph, is, well, for me I think it's so much better, because I'd always be worried if my laptop or my camera ever broke and I had those images on there, or if it was on my phone. I'm always going to be able to keep that physical item, because I know I keep it in a frame, and then when I'm older I can show it to children or family. I was inspired by lots of different influences. One of them, I actually just really wanted to know a basic understanding of how cameras were brought about and how they were invented. So, when I started taking photography and we were doing the pinhole cameras, I found that really interesting. And then from there, I just got more inspired by different photographers and artists like Hannah Hock to continue my research and develop my photography skills.
Many popular photography artists who captured many of the famous images that we still see today saw an image as a modern-day painting. They dedicated so much time to capturing the perfect image which could sell for thousands. Back in the 1930s to the 1960s, artists like Ansel Adams, Henri Cartier-Bresson and Mario Testino were exceedingly popular for capturing beautiful images of landscapes, celebrities and inspiring life event photography. They are most well-known people in the photography world and have inspired many modern-day photographers to follow in their footsteps.
Well, back in the 1900s, obviously, they were a lot more popular, and a lot of more of society were buying their photographs and the artistic works. But nowadays, I'll ask some of my friends and they've got no idea who these photographers and these artists are, which is a bit of a shame. But obviously, I know who they are because of my research and the course itself helping me to get a better understanding.
No, I haven't heard of these artists. I wouldn't say I'm that familiar with famous artists in photography, and I don't really know too much about the history of anyone. I do like that picture. I think it's very stereotypical of what I'd think that 1960s photography would be. It's got black and white, and it's very very generic, and yeah, it looks like a really good photo. I wouldn't buy it for £3 though, only because I just would rather spend my money on something else. As much as I like the photo, as much as I think the photo is very good and nicely edited and well done, yeah, I don't think it's worthy of me personally buying that for £3.
Yeah, I think I would in future years want to buy that photograph. I mean, obviously at the moment being a student I wouldn't be able to afford it, but I think it is a lot of money, but it is worth it because it is such an iconic photograph, which I would like to be able to call mine one day.
However, in modern day society, the money for photos tend to come from people paying artists to photograph them. Fine art photographer Olivia Bentley specialises in photographing natural surroundings and the naked female body. She often holds exhibitions in London of her work. Her ancestors are the founders of Bentley Motors, and therefore she is entitled to a fortune. However, she states that her love of photography and her ability to provoke a range of emotions and her self-taught dark beauty in her work inspired her to start her own photography business. Although some of her work is featured on her website, she sells most work in exhibitions as well as being paid to photograph people nude.
My mum used to do it a lot for me and my brother when we were younger, and we have boxes and boxes of photos and photographs of our childhood. Nowadays, I don't particularly use disposable cameras. I only really use them when I'm going away on school trips, and it's just a different alternative to using your phone and stuff. Because when in year 6 and primary school, I wasn't really allowed to take my phone. and it takes it takes up a lot of your time and money, because obviously you have to get them and pay for them to be developed. And on your phone, it's just really instant, and you can upload them any way you want, completely after. When you take them on your phone, it's really instant, and you can upload them to any social media that you want within seconds of taking a picture. So I just prefer it, and it's just technology's improved so much. I don't even think about using something like that when I can just use my phone. Yeah. No, my parents don't use disposable cameras anymore. I think they feel the same as me. We just all feel that technology's improved and it's just so much faster.
Since technology is developing, it's clear that the photography business is becoming less and less popular. Although money can still be made by photographing images intended to be posted online, the sentimentality and the reason for keeping physical copies of a precious moment or image is slowly decreasing, a worrying scenario for both photographers and people who still prefer to print out and keep their images. So I'm encouraging you to print out as many images as possible in order to preserve memories and one day show your children. And if you see an image in an exhibition you think would look great in your home, buy it. It might be the next family heirloom.